Perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear, ladies and gentlemen. A thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear. Oh, y'all know they got to play the games tonight. Y'all know they got to play the games tonight. Cause I got to go in on them. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all can hear me loud and clear. So while they playing the games, and for good reason, I mean, listen, let me tell you something, family. If they're not playing games with you, you ain't doing something right. It's all good, though, because they playing games, they're going to win some stupid prizes. So let me go ahead and do my intro as I usually do. Salute, 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 and welcome. Welcome back over to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And salute to the good brother, Black Voltron Reloaded for the Cash App. Yeah, y'all know I had to get on this story right here, right? Because, see, let me tell y'all something. I got this image on the screen here, Sweet Home, Alabama, because this is what we're going to be talking about in the town of Reform, Alabama, okay? And the degenerate Hills Have Eyes looking demoness that you see on the thumbnail, oh yes, she goes by the name of Dana Wilson. I'm not going to call it an officer because it's a degenerate, cowardly, disgusting race soldier. See, one thing that I know from my time on this planet, okay? When you bestow power to a weak individual, those are the most dangerous people to ever get their hands on it. You understand? See, as a black parent today, you have a hell of a job ahead of you today. You cannot let your babies go out here in the world not knowing what they're facing because, see, these race soldiers, understand that these are the people that have long wanted to get in a position of authority over black people so that they could abuse us and kill us, okay, with impunity, all right? These were the ones that felt slighted in school, okay? Some black dude stole his girlfriend, or in the vice versa case, hey, some Becky got beat up by a sister in school because she was starting things, whatever. They're like, I'm gonna get my police officer, I'll show you niggers one day. And this is how they think. This is how they think, okay? In fact, the business, it is off topic a bit, but I have to mention this briefly. When it comes to being a black parent today, and I don't have any children, but I've had a hand in raising many in my family, okay? I have cousins, okay, nephews and things of that nature. Here's the deal. This new GTA 6 game, oh yeah, I got to talk about it briefly. This new GTA 6 game, I don't know if a lot of you saw a lot of the screenshots and the captions, but I noticed something. Now, this has been around. It's nothing new, okay, as far as the white supremacists in the gaming arena, what have you. It's nothing new, but this is an excellent teaching tool for black parents to show your children how bad the anti-black racism is. And see, one of the things that I noticed about that game, it's not even out yet. It's due 2025. There's this weird demonic fixation with running over the black women in it that it showed on the beach. Now, do I agree with all the images that they portrayed? No, I don't. You know, they're trying to make it more realistic. They put those images in there. But if you notice, a lot of the white supremacists, I can't wait till I run over these women on the beach. And I'm like, okay. I even saw a clown, a giblet, as I call them, okay, a little powerless white supremacist giblet, in Ukraine worrying about the sisters on the game of the beach, talking about, I can't wait to run over them. I had to respond. I told him, I said, I tell you what, you got bigger problems than worrying about black women which are nowhere near you. I say, you better be worrying about Russian tanks running over your home over there where that current water is going on. That's what you better be worried about. But anyway, they're demonically obsessed with you. And let me tell you something, sisters. I've said this for many years over here on the channel. They hate black men and black women, but the vitriol and the fervor for the hatred for you is a bit deeper, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is why those of us as on-code black men have to make sure that we look out for our sisters. And sisters, you have to listen to our counsel when it comes to protecting you, okay? Protection begins with an open ear. They hate you in such a vitriolic fashion because you are the gateways of life for our people, as all women are in any society, okay? In any group, you're the gateways of life to our people and the first teachers of children. So how white supremacists look at you, they don't look at you as just someone they hate or just another person. They don't even see you as human. This is how they feel, okay? This might offend some of you, but I'm going to tell you what I know of these people because I make it my business to study them. Anything that's a threat to our community, I make it my business to understand it, study it, so when it comes time to neutralize that threat, I'm fully prepared. You ever wondered something? I'm going to see how many sisters in the chat get this. This is very important before we get into the meat of the night subject. Ladies, have you ever wondered why they call black women roaches? You ever wondered that? I want you to let me know. Follow me here. We're going somewhere with this because I need to make sure that you have a thorough understanding of this in case nobody's told you. Does any sister in the chat room understand why they call you roaches? Some of you probably think it has to do with skin complexion, right? Well, it does not. It does not. Does anybody understand why they call you that term? I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer before I tell you because I want to make sure that this is driven home because it's a very serious situation. How many of you know why they call black women roaches? Well, wait a second. I want to make sure that y'all understand this, okay? Somebody needs to say it and somebody needs to say it with no filter, okay? Does anybody know? I've seen anybody respond with it yet. I'll go ahead and tell you. Here's the deal, sisters. They refer to you as roaches not because of your skin complexion. They refer to you as roaches because the way these evil demons look at you, they look at you as, okay, you gonna make more little nigglets, okay, just using their language, and they look at you, it's about breeding more than your skin complexion, okay, because they know that you're the continuation of our people, okay, and the children of any race are its future. So I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that y'all understand that very clearly, okay? It has nothing to do with your skin complexion. See, I know it's a filthy, sick, demonic, vile thing because we don't think of other people like that. We don't. None of us were raised that way. Even when we were warned about the dangers of racism and white supremacy, we don't look at these people the way they look at us. So you have to understand why I called them demons in the names that I called them. Okay. So I just wanted to get that part out of the way. So now getting back to what we will be discussing here, I have some information. Some of you may have not seen it yet, but if you haven't, you're going to see it over here tonight. That's going to further explain exactly what happened with that situation with our brother down there. Okay. Micah Washington, what is his name? Before we get to that, though, let me go ahead and greet you all. I knew it was a while before I was able to go ahead and get to this, but hey, the technical difficulties, it is what it is. We're going to power through it. Let me scroll up and greet my esteemed guests that I see joining us over here tonight. I see Willis Martin in the building. Above all that drama, Stun Zed, Rashawn Graham. I see the Prince of Paraphernalia. What's going on, brother? Kane Manley in the house. I see Two Stay Woke. Netta J in here. My good brother Kermit S. Wingfield. D. Foster. Dad Miller TV. Okay, that's what's up, brother. You in the gym. That's what I'm talking about. They combat ready, brother. They've declared war on us, so we got to be ready for it. I see Chief X Ali in the building. The sister Devin Haley, Creative World Films. I see Lakeisha Morehouse. I see Patricia Jenkins in here. Brother James is in here as well. I see Mac Maroon, Keep It Pete Podcast. What's going on? Patricia Slade in here. I see Project Leroy, Tony, my good brother Diesel Mike out there on the highways and byways. Nightfall Drop. I see Seven Skills. Let's see Jerome Purnell. Let me see Douglas Muhammad, King Wage in the building. Let's see going on down. Who else do I see? I see Caldonia. Tasha Peters is in here. Let's see Josh Norris, the young brother, is joining us here tonight. Goddess Navi is with us. Salute and welcome to you and everyone that'll be joining us here. I see a voice of reason to my people, for my people checked in. All right, family. So now, let me take this banner down real quick because one of the things I believe in doing is making sure our people are well informed. Okay, so for you in Alabama, y'all already know what this rancid, wrinkled up piece of Skeletor looking filth is right here. This is Governor Kay Ivey. Now, for a little bit of history, this is the oldest serving governor in the country right now. She's the governor of Alabama, the 54th governor. So the things that we're going to show you, this falls on her watch. I'm going to put the blame where it belongs because if you're in charge, the blame falls on you. Okay? So now that I've gotten that out of the way, and by the way, one of the nicknames, Cotton State, okay? Yeah, y'all know why they call it that. But I want to show you what they're trying to accuse our brother of having doing here. And see, this is going to be very despicable what I'm about to show you. These are the charges that they initially had on the brother. Okay, Micah Washington, that's the young man that you see here on the right. Obstructing governmental operations, resisting arrest, marijuana possession, ex-felon in possession of a firearm. Put a pin in that. I want you to remember that. And then they put drug trafficking on there. Okay? That's what they said. Now, before I show you this, you know what my rule is over here on this platform and for a number of years now when it comes to the so-called white allies. Okay? What do I always tell y'all? I'll run it down for the new people over here. And welcome to you if you're new over here. Okay? We do straight talk over here. We don't sugarcoat things. I always tell you about the white ally when it comes to that. A white ally is someone not right next to black people, not standing up under you for a photo op, not trying to date you, not telling you how much they like you or trying to learn dances. Here's a real white ally. A white ally says, okay, I see what you're trying to do to produce justice. I know that if I'm really going to help you, pay attention to this, to my young ones, okay? My young black people listen to me tonight. Pay attention to this in case you never heard this before. If a white ally really wants to help you, here's what they do. They know that they have limited capacity to help you if they're standing right next to you, right up under you. Why? Because the dominant society will see that and mark them as, oh, you one of them. And you know by one of them what I mean. So what they would do is say, okay, I can economically support you by donating whatever you got going on, and I will go away from you and go into these courthouses, go into these city council meetings, go where my people are, where I have power and influence, and work to help you with your cause, okay? That's how you know if they're serious. See, a lot of people got confused during the 2020 uprising and all these protests. A lot of those were white supremacist accelerationists out there. But if you don't know about that, do your homework on this channel. I've got that content available for you. Very important that you know what that means. But when it comes to the white ally, the so-called ones out there running around with a sign, see, you got to understand something. You should be insulted if that's the extent of the white allyship, because marching around with a sign doesn't do anything. Those are a lot of times are just rebellious young white people that want to do something to stick it to their parents. No, if you want to help me, go where your community is so you can do some good. You can't do any good standing right next to me where everybody knows what's going on. See, in warfare, the element of surprise is everything. I see everything in the terms of warfare. That's an old habit of mine. It's going to die hard, but it's going to serve me well. And it will serve you well, too, to understand that. I always tell them, if you really want to help me, go over there away from me and get something done. We can keep in contact without being right up under each other. The only thing I need to deal with you for is to produce justice. They're not trying to do that. They're not an ally. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, so everybody's prepared for what I'm about to show you here, I would go as far as, from what I've seen, to call this man a white ally. Let me show you something here, because, see, when the white supremacists have all the tools at their disposal when they descend on us, rather like they did to brother Micah Washington, they tell all kinds of lies because they know all the cards are in their favor. Well, keep in mind the charges that I just read you that they were going to hit him with. I'm going to play something for you, and I want you to take a good long listen to this, because, see, this right here, I've seen this white guy right here before, a lot of his stuff. I sat back and I watched him for a while, and from what I see so far, hey, he seems to be trying to do good work. I will say that. Now, am I going to tell you, oh, man, this is everybody's new white friend? No. But I respect the man for having the guts to do what he's been doing, and he's been pretty consistent so far. I'm still going to keep my eye on him. I want you to listen to what he said here about our brother Micah Washington. Let's let this play.
I have startling new information about this video that's been going around the internet. This is Officer Dana Elmore, and she uses excessive force in the unlawful arrest of 24-year-old Micah Washington. I've been in contact with Micah's attorney Leroy Maxwell from the Maxwell Tillman law firm, and I've received new information that you need to know. But first, let me show you the video in case you haven't seen it. Trigger warning, police brutality.
Stand up. Right there in front of the car. Stay steep.
I ain't doing shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not, oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
You want it again? Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Before I go over what he was charged with after all that, let me give you the 2 minutes that led up to that video. 24-year-old Micah Washington was changing his tire on the side of the road when Officer Dana Elmore approached him in her car. She began asking Micah what he was doing, and Micah informed her, "I'm changing my tire." She asked to see a driver's license. He asked, "Why do I got to give you my driver's license to change a tire?" She asked for more information, multiple times asked for his driver's license. He told her, "I don't need to give you my driver's license. I'm just changing my tire." And it was at that point that he pulled his cell phone out to begin recording the interaction. But he never got a chance to, because before he could even start recording, she tased him. Upon being tased, his phone fell to the ground, he fell to the ground and put his hands behind his back, and she cuffed him. After cuffing him, she put one foot on his back, standing on his back, and then made what appeared to be a call to another officer. At that point, Micah's brother started filming, and that's where the video picks up that you watched. Now, it's very important to note that Officer Dana Elmore did not know Micah's brother was filming. As you saw in the video, she put him on the hood, went through his pockets, and found a firearm. She didn't like that he was asking questions, and she began tasing him in the back, as you saw in the video. It's also very important to note that the only thing she pulled out of his pocket in that video was a firearm. So now, knowing that, look what they charged him with. Right here, drug trafficking. Officer Dana Elmore claimed that after pulling the firearm out, she pulled out 7 grams of fentanyl. They also charged him with possession of a firearm by a felon. They charged him with simple possession of marijuana, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental operations. But guess what happened next? The video that Micaiah's brother filmed went viral on the internet. And it was only then that they found out there was a video of the arrest. And it was then that the state's attorney filed a motion to null pros the drug trafficking charge. Null pros means basically they're not going to press those charges. They're dropping the charges. Not the judge, the state's attorney. And let's read the motion, may we? It said the suspected narcotics were seized in connection with the arrest of the defendant. The video shows they were not. The suspected narcotics were field tested prior to the arrest. Wait a minute. If they seized them during the arrest, how'd they field test them prior to the arrest? Because that never happened. But then it says in the motion, further testing has since been conducted that failed to yield a positive result for fentanyl. You know what that means? I firmly believe that means they were planning on planting evidence to frame him for drug trafficking. That's my opinion on why they now can't yield a positive result. And because of that, he was under a $500,000 bond. But that has now been null prossed. Oh, and the ex-felon in possession of a firearm, he's not a felon. That's not even real. So that's also expected to be null prossed. If not null prossed, the judge will drop it anyway. The court's going to dismiss it. He's not a felon. Because of the trafficking charge being gone and the other stuff being null prossed, his consolidated bond now is only $5,000 instead of $500,000 that it was before. So to recap, Officer Dana Elmore harassed and brutalized 24-year-old Micah Washington simply for changing his tire while black. And I firmly believe they were going to plant evidence on him and charge him with drug trafficking. All charges against Micah Washington should be dropped. All. And Officer Dana Elmore, who's currently on administrative leave or paid vacation, should be charged with assault and battery and for lying. So here's the call to action. Email and call the district attorney. We want all charges against Micah Washington dropped, and we want charges against Dana Elmore brought up immediately.
Okay, so now you heard what that white man said there. Now, for those that missed it, or if you're just coming in, how he knows that information, and those of you that are already over here, you heard it, he's been in contact with the family's attorney, okay? See, that's what you call white allyship. He's out there doing the work to fight and combat the white supremacists in his community. But see, I got to add something to what he was saying, because yes, she does need to be brought up on charges, but I have to add this. First and foremost, let me address you, my people, okay? I've told you for years over here, and I don't care who you are, black man, black woman, young black adult, or if you're a teenager driving, your parents need to do this for you. Your cars, your vehicles, just like your homes, need to be outfitted with surveillance. There's all types of options to install cameras in the interior of your car in multiple places, okay? And there's devices that you can have on your person that can record besides that cell phone, okay? Because see, let's be clear, they're cowards, they're trigger happy. And the minute you go to reach for something, oh, it's a gun. Okay, I'm surprised she didn't pull that on him. Besides just tasing him, we know how that could have went. But here's further what we must start demanding besides just charges. See, it's not good enough to just have charges brought up on them, what have you, because you don't never know which way it could go in the courtroom. They could let them off. Here's something else we have to start pushing for, family. And I want everybody on the sound of my voice to remember what I'm about to say. Remember this acronym, POST, POST, Peace Officer Standards and Training. Now, why am I telling you that? Because that is the certification that law enforcement officers must have in order to practice law enforcement and be a peace officer. They get that upon completion of graduating from these academies. What needs to be pushed for is when they're caught on video doing what she did, lying and everything on top of that, that needs to be permanently stripped from them for life. You get caught doing something like that, you can't even be a security guard anywhere, okay? Let alone a police officer. That needs to be stripped. Peace Officer Standards and Training Certification. That needs to be permanently revoked when these things happen, okay? We've got so much work to do amongst our people here to produce justice that anybody talking about that so-called conflict overseas, you must be blind. We got a battle to fight right here, okay? So that's one of the things that needs to be done in addition to her being charged. And we need to do that in all 50 states. We got to go after that. Start pressing your city council, your representatives. Make sure that you be like, you do not get to continue to practice law enforcement. You are unqualified to do it at that point because, see, listen to all that stuff that she was going to do. Look on the screen here. Let's read the false charges again now that we know they're false. Obstructing governmental operations, resisting arrest. How? Back to business. On the resisting arrest part, him and his brother was there. Both of them are clearly bigger than her. I'm pretty much assuming that his brother off camera was bigger than her. If they wanted to, they could have jumped her if they was trying to resist arrest. You see what I'm saying? Now, it would have been unwise to do it, but the brother laid on the ground as he was tased, put his hand behind his back, and put him in cuffs. Now, just like that coward and demon, Derek Chauvin, a.k.a. the knitting needle trainee, you know, shout out to the inmate, crochet and knitting program. I continue to teach that young man. He needs a lesson in that. He needs to have skills in prison. So hopefully he gets his second lesson pretty soon. But, you know, going back to the coward, he had our brother George Floyd in cuffs like the coward he was, attempting to demonize and dehumanize our brother in that cruel and cowardly way. See, you need to understand that the black skin that we wear, that alone is a threat to them. You understand? They're cowards. They can't do anything with any type of honor and integrity attached to it. So if you got someone in cuffs, there's no need to use any type of force against them. The situation is under control. Resisting arrest? How? But see, we know the white supremacists, if their thin pink lips are moving, they lying. Marijuana possession. He didn't have any of that. And he's not an ex-felon. That's the main one right there. See, listen. Let's finish covering this. Drug trafficking. Okay, those are the false charges. Now, what I was about to say was, in addition to that, the bitch should be prosecuted. That peace officer standards and training certification, you got to take that away. Okay, your ass should do time. And when it comes to any type of lawsuit, it doesn't need to come from the taxpaying citizens. No, it needs to come from these goddamn police unions. Hit these motherfuckers where it hurt. We didn't do anything to our brother Micah Washington or the citizens in Alabama and Reform Alabama. They didn't do anything to our brother. It needs to come from the people that aggrieved him. That's the work, some of the work that we need to do in all 50 states here, okay? This is what we got to get going on, okay? So for anybody that's worried about things over there with that particular conflict, that is not our fight. When things like this are happening to my people, this is where my focus is, okay? This is where my focus is. So again, salute to that white dude. I think he goes by the name Tizzy Int. I'm not sure what his real name is, but when I saw that piece of information, I said, I have to bring this to my audience over here so that you will understand how important it is to make sure that you have your surveillance in your vehicle. Okay, you need to plan and discuss for these things to happen to you in advance because, see, let's be clear. That could be any one of us. You understand me, family? And I say it again for the fools, the foolish people that are worried about the so-called conflict overseas there, which no Foundation of Black American Freedmen fired a rocket or shot at either side. This is the business at hand that we need to be worried about because it could be any one of us, okay? And I do not wish that on us, but I am speaking from a realistic point of view. So now when you understand that we're dealing with cowardly demons like that, we have to take steps to protect ourselves and our community, okay? Because see, a lot of people tend to think that if you're well-to-do, then, they won't mess with you if you dress a certain way. No. Our ancestors were dressed in business suits when they lynched them. Let me tell you something. There's a bigger target on your back if you are straight up well-to-do black prison, because if you driving a nice ride, they look at you, I ain't got that. That girl over there driving nice, I ain't got that. That's how they look at you, okay? You clean cut, you ain't breaking up. Because see, notice this. The real threats, and I'm going to go here with it. I'm talking to you race soldier cowards, every one of you, okay? The real threats, they always talking about Chicago, right? Am I right, family? That's what they always talking about, right? So let me ask you this question. When the last time you seen them pull down on Pookie and Ray Ray like that, huh? They know what time it is with Pookie and Ray Ray. They're like, hey, listen, you gonna have to come with it with them. I don't never see that, huh? They don't have that same energy. Let me tell you why, though. White supremacy, it gets its kicks out of picking on the innocent and stand up black people amongst us. Like our brother Elijah McClain, may he rest in peace, and still, I send strength and condolences to his family. That broke my heart to see the way that brother died, pleading for his life. But I will not forget him. I'm not going to forget any of our people that has fallen to these damn demons. We got work to do to produce justice in their names, okay, to make sure that it doesn't happen to future generations. But see, they get a kick out of targeting the innocent like that. That's how you know you're dealing with irredeemable evil, okay? And for anybody that's listening that thinks that I'm wrong about that, okay, you know me. I'm going to show you something because, see, I entitled this broadcast the way I did for a particular reason, okay? We got to deal with these dirty South domestic terrorists down here. That's exactly what they are. They're the biggest, most corrupt gang in all of America. I'm going to give you a brief reminder of the average redneck cop's ideal down here, okay, when it comes to so-called law enforcement towards us, all right? I'm going to give you this reminder. I've covered this on my channel before, but I had to include this in here tonight so that you understand how serious this threat is, okay? We don't have any time to focus on anybody's issues but ours because, see, I'm thankful that the brother Micah Washington is alive, but the work must continue to make sure that justice is served on his behalf because, see, look, if they're going to give her paid leave, that's already a bad sign right there. See, before I show you what I'm about to show you, we need to start pressing those that claim to want to represent us and claim to want our votes. Like I said, if you don't work for free, don't vote for free. They come to you talking about votes and you a black person in this country, especially of our lineage, you need to bring up Micah Washington, huh? Be like, hey, nah, we need some hate crimes on these race soldiers. You understand? Because, boy, it take an act of Congress to get that on them. But listen, this is what we must present towards them. And along with that, what I said earlier about revoking permanently their post certification, okay? I got to play this for you all, and it may be disturbing, but I need to give my people accurate information. For those that don't understand, when we say the term Dirty South, this is one of the reasons. I'm going to let something play for you, and I want you to take notes on this.
The video shows a Cobb County, Georgia police officer talking to a woman in a car he pulled over on a traffic stop. She's unwilling to move her hands, afraid, she says, of getting shot, and he tells her, don't worry.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right? All the videos you've seen, have you seen any white people get killed?
Though it happened a year ago, the video is just now coming to light. The officer, Lieutenant Greg Abbott, has been on the force nearly 30 years. His lawyer says he was, quote, trying to gain compliance by using the passenger's own statements. But the county's new police chief said today that what happened was unacceptable.
I don't know what's in his heart, but I certainly know what came out of his mouth. The recommendation is to terminate his employment from the Cobb County Police Department.
The date stamp on the video, July 10th, 2016.
Stay with me.
Just 4 days after cell phone video went viral showing the moments after a white policeman killed a black driver, Philando Castile, in Minnesota. As shocking as the Georgia video is,
Remember, we only kill black people.
leaders of the black community in the county say the chief's decisive action is reassuring.
We have hope here in Cobb that we have a chief and leadership that is serious about bringing this department to be one of the better ones in the nation.
The police chief says the community and his own officers expected an appropriate response. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
Well, tonight on the pod.
Now, let me pause it right there because, see, I let that whole clip play for a reason. At the end of it, that Sambo that you heard, because that happened in 2016, that Sambo talking about he did the right thing to take steps to make sure everything. And listen, no, it's not enough to fire them if they keep their post certification. They can just pop up in another police department the next town over. That must be permanently revoked. That must be permanently revoked. It can't just be enough that you fire them. No, that does not solve the problem, okay? It does not solve the problem. You saw that they reminded us of another brother that we lost, Philando Castile, to a cowardly race soldier. So this is why I'm saying the post certification must be revoked. It must be, okay? That's something we're going to have to push for. There's no need to say, oh, it's going to take too much. No. This is in defense of our people's lives, okay? So this is something we're going to have to do. And we're going to have to take the lead in doing it, okay? So now, Brother Phil covered this, and I'm going to let this play because, see, we have to hold someone else accountable for what we saw happen, okay? I'm going to let Brother Phil go into it, and I'm going to add my commentary as he goes along because I'm in full agreement with the people that he says, the other people that we say we got to hold accountable for what happens to black people at the hands of police. I'm going to let this play, and like I said, we shall add commentary to it the further it gets along here.
Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, you know, there's a video that came out of Reform, Alabama. And this particular video is the type of videos that I don't like to see. These videos make me extremely disgusted in general. You know, when I see our people being put in a position like this. And usually I don't even want to show these kind of videos, even if they are mild or they're not beating somebody up. Because after George Floyd, I was just kind of done with a lot of police videos. For years, I talked about that subject. For years, I've shown it over and over and over and over again. But here we're talking about the Democrats, and I have to bring something up because during the 2020 election, Democrats said, if you go out there and vote for Joe Biden and the Democrats at the time, they said that they would get into office and they would give you black Americans police reform.
He's exactly right. And that's exactly what they said. This, make no mistake about it, is on the heads of the Biden administration. All of it. Everything that we see that resembles what I just showed you earlier here, with the exception of what happened in 2016. All of it that happens on their watch, we're going to hold them accountable for that, okay? I want y'all to pay close attention to what Brother Phil's about to break down because, see, we have some very critical decisions to make, family, going into the 2024 election cycle. New Black Media has done its part, whether the channel has been larger ones or smaller ones. We're putting the information out there. We're making sure that we try to galvanize your mind and ground your mind into the things that are relevant to our people, the things that we must be concerned about. This is a season where we can put no other group's needs ahead of our own. We cannot afford to do that. We do not have that luxury, okay? I want y'all to listen to what Brother Phil's about further go into detail about here.
So we can prevent what happened to George Floyd from happening to another black person. Now, the brother in this video know what happened to George Floyd did not happen to this brother, but it's similar circumstances. So let me go ahead and roll this clip out of Reform, Alabama. And let's go ahead and talk about the Democrats, because anytime I see police doing something to black people, I'm blaming the Democrats. Let's roll that.
They held a protest Monday night in response to the viral video showing a police officer using a stun gun on a handcuffed man. We want to warn you, you might find this video disturbing. After an exchange of words, the police officer pulls the trigger on the stun gun and then asked,
You want it again? No, man. Shut the f up. You was big and bad.
She could then be heard calling him an explicit name.
She tased him in the back, and she was holding it. She was just holding it there until he started crying.
Jalexis Rice, girlfriend of Micah Washington, says this all started when her boyfriend and two others were changing a tire of the car they were driving. She says that's when the officer in the video pulled up, eventually putting her boyfriend in handcuffs and tasing him.
When I seen it, I couldn't do nothing but cry. I couldn't do nothing but cry.
Following his arrest, Washington was booked into the Pickens County Jail on several charges. He has a bond of $500,000. In a statement, Reform's police chief and mayor said they're aware of the video and the police officer has been placed on administrative leave. However, people attending Monday's rally say they want more done.
She needs to be fired, and I feel like she can leave and go somewhere else and do it if they don't hold her accountable for nothing.
So as you remember,
now, let me pause it right here to bring up a point that a lot of people may not have spoken on. And just like Brother Phil, I have covered these types of things for a number of years, and I'm trying to hold back extreme anger right now because both of us agree on this, me, Brother Phil, and many others. We hate to show videos like that where they're brutalizing our people, but sometimes it must be done to actually educate our people on what we're dealing with. That news clip that you just saw, I'm going to point out something else to you because, see, it's all a part of trying to terrorize our community. I want you to take note of how the only people that they chose to talk to in it were the sisters. Now, why? And I'm not saying that our women's voices are not important, because these are their sons, their brothers, their fathers, their uncles, their cousins, okay, their nephews. So don't mistake me on what I'm about to say. But I must point this out. When it comes to imagery and propaganda warfare, they run and put the microphones into the women's faces, because I'm going to show you how the white supremacist media works in conjunction with these damn race soldiers. They want to hear our women expressing fear. And it's a natural emotion because, like I just said, these are family members, okay? And it could be any one of our family members. But I'm showing you that they're not out there just reporting the story. Because, see, think about it. Why wouldn't you talk to the men in the community? You know why? Because, see, the brothers are not afraid. We know that by looking at the situation that happened down there at the Alabama Riverfront Brawl. And make no mistake, that demonic, cowardly race soldier piece of shit that's on this damn thumbnail and that we've looked at here, Dana Wilson, that's her name. I'm not calling it an officer. I'm not calling it a human being. Make no mistake about it, she probably felt some type of way about that too, okay? We got to put these things in proper context so that you understand how the media works in conjunction with that to try to show you images to traumatize our women and our children. And see, brothers, this is where you have the responsibility as a man to reassure everybody in your family, talk to them about these things, make sure that everybody's educated on it. And this is why we cannot afford to be weak. See, no offense to anybody with a certain particular type of lifestyle, but this is why we cannot accept and embrace running around in a bunch of dresses, with getting our nails done and all this other foolishness like that. No. These people, these demons, have declared war on us, and we're going to need soldiers, damn it. We're going to need soldiers. We're going to need soldiers to hold our communities and our families together. This is no time for weak black men. Weak black men are not going to be able to protect anybody, okay? So make sure, brothers, that you do what you need to do to strengthen your families, the brothers in your community. This is a time for us nationwide to cast aside petty differences. I go out my way to do that. I do not wish to have any problems with another black man if I can help it. We need to be on code with each other because we all we got, okay? As cliche as that sounds, it is true. If you have not seen the things that have occurred just since this administration has been in office, well, I don't know what to tell you. You are definitely lost if you don't understand how true that statement is. We're all we have, okay? So I wanted to make sure that y'all was clear on what the media was trying to do by talking to those sisters like that. See, this is another thing, too. I have words of encouragement for our sisters as well. I hate to use the term strong towards our women because it's also an insult. It's a backhanded compliment. Our women should not have to be strong in that sense of the word as far as trying to match up to men. But what I will say to you, my sisters, and I know that this exists in black women, you take courage. You understand? Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. You understand me? Let me tell you why I'm telling you not to be afraid. This is nothing that we haven't been dealing with. It's nothing that we cannot overcome. And when it comes to our women, let me tell you something. I don't care what other group of women get offended with what I'm about to say. We have the most courageous women on the planet. Damn it, history backs me up on that statement. You tell me, where is the equivalent of a Harriet Tubman, an Ida B. Wells, or Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? I could be Fannie Lou Hamer. I could be her name, and on and on. Where's the equivalent of those types of sisters with that type of strength and character in other communities? You don't see it. So I want my sister to remember that that's where you come from. So if you do happen to find a media camera in your face, you draw from the strength of some of those sisters that I've told you about. See, this is why we're always bringing up our grandmaster teachers, men and women alike, because even though they're not here with us in the flesh, they're here with us in the spirit. They left work behind for us to be empowered and to gain wisdom off of. You understand me? And I understand that what I'm saying is easier said than done, but you are capable of it, okay? So that way, when they put a camera in front of your face, channel the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer, okay? And many others that have gone before her, okay? So I just want to add that bit of encouragement to our sisters. I'm gonna let Brother Phil continue speaking because when I saw this, I said, I have to bring it to my audience tonight because he's spot on. We must hold these dirty, demonic Democrats accountable for what they have inflicted upon our people. Let it continue.
Remember, George Floyd was handcuffed when Derek Chauvin put his knee on his neck. He wasn't fighting. He was handcuffed. These white supremacists in this police force, they're cowards. They always have been. They have to put a black man in handcuffs to do something to him. You understand what I'm saying? So just like George Floyd was handcuffed, this brother is handcuffed. Handcuffed, he's on the car. He's not doing anything. He's talking, but he's not doing you anything. But now, since he's handcuffed, you put a taser on his back. Let me tell you something. That brother could have died just no different than George Floyd. When you put a taser on someone's back like that, and you do that, it can cause cardiac arrest in a person. If they have a heart condition, for sure. If they have high blood pressure, very possibility. Right? This has happened to a lot of people. They do this mess and they get away with it. Now, black people in the last election came out there to vote for the Democrat Party to prevent that kind of video from happening. But when the Democrats got in office, they did not deliver on any kind of police reform. I don't want to hear no excuse about no Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. I don't want to hear no excuse about the Republicans. You said to get you in there, and if you get in there, you would do police reform. But then when you got in there, what did you do? An Asian hate crime bill. That's what you did. Not police reform to stop things like this from happening. See, we had an anti-black hate crime bill, that video that we saw from the news that's out on social media. We wouldn't be seeing this video too much because it would give Kristen Clark in the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice a lot of leeway to go after that cop. You understand what I'm saying? But since the Democrats did not do what they said they were supposed to do to get all y'all, let me tell you something, the Democrats, and why I'm so turned up on the Democrats is because they lied to my people. My people came out in a global pandemic in record numbers to go out and vote Joe Biden and the Democrats.
And I want you to particularly remember what Brother Phil just said, because if you are someone that went out to vote, particularly for the Democratic Party, you risked your life at that time. You risked your life at that time. See, I'm talking to my people, or we're talking to our people this way in New Black Media, Brother Phil, everybody. We're talking to you to make sure that you understand that your life has value. These people have taken us for granted. I always tell you, if you wouldn't work for free, don't vote for free. But see, I like to talk solutions over here, as all of us do in these media spaces. Let me tell you something that I'm going to propose. And I want everybody, no matter where you listen to me from, in all 50 states, now is the time for those with like minds that are on code in your community, even if it's just a handful. Find your best and brightest that are good at studying law, that are good at actually writing. And let me tell you what I propose that you do, because see, you watch their eyes hit the floor when they come running up to you talking about who to vote for. Call them to the side and be like, yeah, I heard what you said. And you talking about vote blue no matter who. I'm like, well, hold your horses for a minute. Our community has drafted some particular legislation that we're going to need a promise from you that you will enact should we vote you into office. See, I told you, the price has gone up. We can't do that. Oh, we'll get you in there and then we'll just trust you on good faith. No. We're going to need proof of concept policy before you get in office. See, let me tell you, let me make it plain for you. Any politician from either party that comes seeking your vote, family, you put their asses through hell. You understand me? You make sure that the minute they start talking and they start talking about people killing all this, nope. You've lost my interest. If you're going to talk to me about anything, you better say the word black. Just like when you address other communities. See, let me add this too, because I haven't said this in a while and I need to say it tonight. all of you, no matter who you choose to vote for, and we telling you vote for anybody except for them damn Democrats, and we gonna further make the case here tonight. But when people come to you and they claim to want your vote, but they don't want to call you by name, see, think about it. They don't treat Asians like that, Hispanics. They sure ain't gonna treat white people like that, East Indians, Arabs. So why is it that when you come to us, you claim to want to be able to represent us, but yet you're ashamed to speak our classification, which is black? You are not worthy of our votes if you can't say the term black, just like you address everybody else. You understand? See, we got to stop accepting that type of abuse. They hand us benign neglect. We hand their asses back malevolent neglect. That's where I'm going with it. Malevolent neglect in the form of, okay, we're indifferent towards you. You sit here and did all these things for other people. You can't do nothing for us when we need it the most. Don't ask me for nothing. You go ask those other people that you did something for a vote. That's who you go and talk to. You understand? So you make sure that they understand that if they are ashamed to call us out by name, that you're not worthy of our votes to represent us. It's just that simple, okay? We're going to let Brother Phil continue.
Then it wasn't just them. People like Boule Martin every day was on his program telling black people that you just got to come out there and vote Democrats and vote for Joe Biden so you can get police reform so he can prevent a George Floyd from happening. That man was saying that every day on his platform. Every day he was. All this stuff that's happening with the Democrats, Boule Martin is just as guilty as they are. Because every day he was telling y'all, go out there and vote for those people. And I talk about him the most because he got the biggest mouth out of all of them. So I'm always going to be targeting him more than all of them. But he's their representative. So that's why I come at him more than any other group of shields. Every freaking day. And he's still telling y'all, come out there and vote for the Democrat Party. Even after y'all watching the Democrat Party be hostile to Black America. Watching the Democrat Party getting upset with you for saying, hey, where's my resources, man? Look, y'all giving all my resources to people that just come across the border. What the hell is that about?
And in addition to them giving all of our resources to people that are not even citizens here, family, I'm adding to this something further for us to be offended by. What's the main thing over here on this platform that I tell you that you should be mortally offended by if someone wastes? I want my chat room to tell me. Those of you that have been long-time subscribers over here, you know the 4-letter word that you should be mortally offended if somebody wastes. It's the most precious, non-renewable resource that any of us have. What do I tell you that you should be offended if anybody comes to you wasting? I know my chat room has to know this. I've been saying this for a long time. That's right, Patricia Jenkins. Your time. Yes. See, in addition to them squandering our resources, in fact, the business while I'm talking about that, in addition to them squandering our resources, if you want to see just how much they squander, for those of you that are not familiar with this, y'all know what I'm finna put in the chat. Go to this website, foreignassistance.gov, and you'll see just how much of our taxpayer dollars they're squandering on other people. It's basically puppet control money for people who are abroad there in other countries. But we need that money to work for us. You should be offended by them wasting your time and your resources, though, because the resources, sure, any of us can make money back. But once your time is wasted, you don't get time back. At least I hadn't figured out how to do it, okay? So you should be extremely offended and communicate that to all of them. Like, listen, you're not going to waste my time because I got to address this. For those of you that did go and vote for the Democrats, what did they waste? Your time. Understand that your time is not just yours alone. When they waste your time and you go and vote for them for nothing and they go and let everybody else piggyback and step ladder off your backs, they've wasted the time of your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. You understand? That's their future that they're playing with. See, it's not a game or not a harmless thing when you just go out there and vote for these people and then you just be like, well, that's just what they do. The hell with that. You don't hear other communities saying that. You understand? So keep that in mind in addition to everything that our good brother Phil is saying here. Let's let it continue.
You understand what I'm saying? Brandon Johnson upset because black folks is calling him to the carpet. trying to lie and call them right-wing extremists when black folks is not a part of no right wing at all. They don't even vote that way. They have voted Democrat over half a century. The black people that vote Republican is very small in number, and most of them are people in the business community. So it is insulting to hear Brandon Johnson call black folks right-wing extremists, or saying right-wing extremists is the reason. No, sir, you're a failure. Just call it what it is. It's not right-wing extremists, it's you. You are in charge of the city of Chicago, and you're failing. But black folks, the Democrats, do not want us protected. They don't. And you have to understand, you have a group of black folks. I thought about this. I was in the store doing a little shopping, and we are the only group of people in America that is so screwed up in every which way. Let's think about it. I look at other groups, even though I know other groups didn't go through what we went through, and that's true. But one thing I don't see other groups doing to themselves is sabotaging themselves. I'm not talking about the average human being sabotage. You know how people are jealousy, haters, X, Y, Z. Everybody got that in their group. But I'm talking about political sabotage. Because there would be one thing if the Democrats was doing things to us. That'd be one thing. It'll be one thing if the Republicans are doing things to us. White supremacy, whatever. But the problem that we have as a people is that we have a group of people who went to college, who joins the Divine Nine Boule. They go join them. They feel like they so up here because they in this Divine Nine. Oh, I'm the Divine Nine. Right? Ooh, I get to go sit with the Democrats. And they sell us out. See, that's what the Hispanic community don't have to deal with. A Divine Nine selling out the Hispanic community.
Brother Field is absolutely right. And see, here's something else I want to point out, okay, in addition to what he's talking about. Make no mistake that there is a vast and clear distinction between education and intelligence. I'm going to say it again. There is a vast distinction and a clear line of demarcation between education and intelligence. If you all follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you know I recently took Cornel West to task about his bootlicking and worrying about that conflict over there. We got things to worry about right here, like I'm talking about in this broadcast tonight, okay? See, you can go and get book education and come out with your little degree, but what good is your degree if you don't have common sense? And I'm telling you, you cannot be intelligent without common sense. Common sense dictates to us that there's no other group more important, no other group's issues more important than our own people's right now, okay? So I just want to add that to Brother Fields' statements. Let it continue.
Politically, the Hispanic community is fighting for the Hispanic community. I watch all of them. I just don't watch what we do. I watch all of them. They are on code with each other, and they should be. Look at the AAPI community. They don't have no Divine Nine talking about a boule, trying to get little trinkets for themselves and selling out the rest of their group. The Asian community work together politically so they can get an anti-Asian hate bill. You understand what I'm saying? You look at East Indians, they sticking together in their groups and fighting for their people. Look at the Muslims. The Muslims are on code with each other. They just come up with a campaign, abandon Biden, because they are on code about what's happening in the other part of the world. Not mad with them. That's what they supposed to be doing. But look at our group. We got only a small amount of people that's on code. A lot of us are waking up. But you know what? We got a problem. We got a problem in this black American community. We got a problem. And that's been our problem ever since our existence in a planet Earth. We have this sellout gene that's in our community that we won't root out. We know it's there. Yeah, we may call it out here and there, but we won't root it out once and for all. We cannot progress with a sellout gene like that. The Democrats couldn't do what they do to us without those sellouts, selling us down the river. The CBC, nothing but sellouts, and they in a Divine Nine too. That's why when I see any of them talking about they in a Divine Nine, I'm turned off by them. I don't want to talk. Listen, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but at this stage in the game with me, every time I look up, some sellout that's a politician is in some Divine Nine or some Divine Nine person telling me about some Democrat and selling us down the road. Yes, I'm telling y'all that. And all you Divine Nine people, bring it. I don't care. Because you don't show me no good works that you have done for the black American community.
1000% correct. And see, let me add this to it because see, this has long been a problem. Many of us have said this. Some of you might find it cruel that I'm going to make this statement and reiterate upon it. The sellout problem started when we was on them plantations. I'm going to tell you right now, I was talking to my cousin earlier about this. We got our freedom and left those plantations. What should have happened was every Sambo that betrayed our people, everyone in memory that tried to tell massa, so to speak, when we were trying to get off them plantations, they should have been dealt with right then. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They should have been dealt with then. Because, see, that cowardly and treacherous gene has carried on through their bloodlines, and this is what we're dealing with today. But I have a solution to add, and I don't have all the answers. Nobody does, but I'm going to tell you one that I've always been for. These sellouts that we can identify, that have a track record of doing that, they should be pariahs in our community. And I mean this literally. I posit to you this, what we should tell, how we should deal with them, besides trying to vote them out of their positions. Okay, that's when the vote definitely matters. But until that's done, the only thing we need to say to them is to call them to the carpet for their behavior. We shouldn't socialize with them. They should be outcast in our community. I'm going to say it like it need to be said. They need to be treated just like pedophiles. That's a despicable, disgusting thing, and that's exactly the level they're on because they're sitting up there selling our people out to make sure that they get a bag, make sure they're good and their people are good. But the people that they're supposed to represent, see, understand something. Every single politician, every single one of them, their salaries are paid by our tax dollars. They're supposed to be our representatives. They work for us, not the other way around. You understand? I would say this to all of America, no matter what race you are, but I'm dealing with my people. You should be offended at every time that you see one of them, they come back and ask you to repeat the same thing over and over again, and it didn't yield you any results. We all know what the definition of insanity is, don't we? Those of us with intelligence do. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, okay? So this is what we need to treat them like. They should be outcasts and pariahs. Their very name should be a dirty word in our community. And if they want the respect and fellowship of the people, then you better start representing the people. And if you're in a situation where they're preventing you from doing that, then you need to be telling us what's going on if you're in these positions to represent us. See, we got the power to turn this around as a community. We're in a good space right now, family. I know it's hard for a lot of people out there. I know we're dealing with a lot of different things, but we are in a good space as far as where we're focused on because, see, as tragic as it is, and my condolences to anybody that lost loved ones' lives during the height of the pandemic and the initial phases of it, there's one good thing about it. When everything was still and shut down, it forced us to focus on what was important. All of America, but especially our people. It forced us to focus on what was most important. The entertainment was shut down. You couldn't go run to the movie theaters. You couldn't go to your concerts. You couldn't go to your basketball and football games. All that was put a pause on it. See, you know why? Let me point this out too. I want this to weigh on your mind here. The reason why those things are so important to America, because it's a distraction from focusing on the people that are the crooks that are doing these types of things to us that we see this administration doing. You understand? They're distractions. Make sure you're having a good time. It's kind of like when you ever see a little baby, when you jingle keys in front of a little baby, the baby get happy, laughing. That's what they're doing to us with a lot of these different things. But see, now, enough of us have remained awakened to the point we're like, yeah, we should have been focused on this. So that's the momentum that those of us in New Black Media want to encourage you to have. All of us are fighting the same fight. Everybody might not have the same role in the fight, but everybody's role does count. You just focus on being excellent at your particular given role, no matter what that is. Let's let it continue.
I'm for the people. I'm not for no upper echelons and going to luncheons with y'all. For what? What are we doing at some luncheon? What, the people are suffering, man. Y'all have all this access. Y'all up there taking pictures with Kamala. What if y'all were really doing the work of the black community and had access to go talk to Kamala or Biden or the Democrats and told them, hey, my people are suffering. Hey, what's up with all this immigration coming in here? You bringing all these people to Chicago. You're bringing them to New York. My black American community don't even have the resources. The black homeless is sleeping on trains. Why y'all got Brandon Johnson trying to give all these resources? What's going on? See, if we really had a representation in a CBC, or even people like Boulay Martin that's excited about taking pictures everywhere he go when he up there with Kamala, what if he would actually be about the business of black folk and actually went and told what's going on with black folk? Well, they probably wouldn't invite him up there no more.
Brother Phil is absolutely right.
They don't want him.
They're not going to invite Pork Chop Nose Prime Ribs Martin back up there because, see, if he speaks against them, he knows that, okay, that complimentary plate that they have waiting on him, hey, with all the ham house and cholesterol pack crap that they have on it, he know he can't get that plate no more. So that's why I don't expect that from him. But hey, let's let it continue.
Black person up there telling them the real. But see, we had a code, they wouldn't invite none of us. Al Sharpton going up there taking photos at the doggone White House. He not telling the real what's happening to black folk. That's why we really can't progress as a people. We could talk about the Democrats, white supremacy, and everything else. These are the groups is going to not only pass us, but leapfrog us and be so far down the road with their assistance, but so far down the road because they sticking together and they on code. They played us like a fiddle, played on our moral compass to say, oh, we just like you and XYZ until they got ahead and now they on code each other and say, ha, forget y'all, I'm on this way.
And see, let me add this to what Brother Phil is saying here, right? Family, I want you to remember this. If nobody else tells you this way, I want you to remember what I'm about to address you with here. When any politician, no matter what party they belong to, come running up to you, and it's time for them to start talking about why they should have your vote because they must earn it, the minute that they come out their mouth with black and cut them off immediately, be like, listen, look around. Do you see any of them other people that you talking about putting an and on around? No. Okay, well, why are you bringing them up? See, we got to break the back of that bad habit. They approaching us. They can't just say black. You got to say black and. There is no and. There is no and. Yes, there are individuals that are good people. A lot of us probably know some of them. But as a collective, there is no and. Think about it. This is something that they hate for those like myself to bring up. Family, when the last time you seen a Hispanic, Asian, Arab, East Indian, white politician get up and address any of the things that are most relevant to us right now? When the last time you seen that? When the last time any of those groups that they clearly done a lot for this administration, when the last time any of those groups said, hey, man, y'all little black folks out, man, we can't do our black brothers and sisters like that. They have no and. So if they have no and for us, we have no and for them. See, I want you to challenge yourselves, for those of you that it applies to, because I know most of my audience ain't with it. None are with it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say nobody's in here that's with it. But I want you to challenge yourself to ask yourself this question. Am I conducting myself as our ancestors did when they didn't have a choice but to be subservient and to be in a slave-like position? So you got to understand that type of conditioning has been passed down. And it's cruel because in two ways. We've always been a very loving, very accepting people. And we sometimes get into a habit, and many of you in this chat room have probably done this with family members. You put other people's needs ahead of your own that would not reciprocate and do the same for you. I'm telling you, when it comes to these politics, we can no longer afford to do that, family. Understand that that's where that type of conditioning comes from. So you have to challenge yourself and encourage others around you to cast that by the wayside, okay? So let it continue.
I'm worried about my people. I'm not worrying with y'all. While some of us looking sad, like, oh, I thought I had a friend. And then in that process, you got other black folks that's selling us out. How could Black America win as a community when we have a CBC that's worthless? They're worthless. They do nothing for Black America. They don't fight for us. They do not. They don't even talk to Black America and say, what is our marching orders? They don't. The reason why we in this situation is because of those sellouts, and that's why we don't have anything. When it goes to that Asian hate crime bill, if we had a real congressional Black caucus, all of them would have stood up and said, hey, that's fine, but we need the Black American community added to that bill too. Because historically and by FBI statistics, Black American community has been the number one victim of hate crime. So surely Black America is going to get on that bill. And if you say no, that's fine. All of us in the Congressional Black Caucus is not going to vote for it. Even if it passed, it didn't pass through us. And then if it passed, the Congressional Black Caucus was supposed to come out and said, hey, we wanted Black Americans on that bill. All of them said no. All of them are racist because Black Americans need to be added to that bill, and they only want to protect that group and not Black America. And we call them foul on their racism. See, if we really had a Congressional Black Caucus, that's what would happen. If we really had a Congressional Black Caucus, they'll be preaching about reparations, all of them. Not a few of them, all of them. They are completely worthless. That's why when I made my video about AIPAC going after the squad, I'm like, AIPAC, do your thing. Go ahead and get them all. You know why I don't care about you getting them all? What are they doing for Black people?
I'm with him on that 100%. Oh, yes. See, let me put you bootlegs on notice because I know they be over here. Oh, trust me, believe it or not, they're on all new Black media platforms. We look, there's a little trick. Well, you know what? I ain't going to even tell them about that. We know you're watching, Boule Martin and the rest of you. We know who you are, too. We definitely know who you are that's watching. Let me go ahead and put you up on notice on something. This benign neglect that you've handed us, we focus enough of our mental energy on the things that need to be done and everything that you haven't done for us to tell you this. You're on your own when the people come for you. You have zero support from Black people. Let me tell you something. This AIPAC situation that Brother Phil is talking about, where they coming after them, they're going to come running to us and say, man, we need to tell them, no, wait a minute. Remember the Asian hate crime bill that you so happily provided for the Asians? And look, nothing against the Asians. Hey, they got on code and got what they were supposed to get. The only beef I have against them is that propaganda and them lies they put out to get that hate crime bill. Now, I do have an issue with that. But now, when it comes to them, the bootlegs running to save us because these people at them, because everybody comes after us. See, understand, the reason why they want us to speak up about that particular conflict, they understand that we have power as a people. If you didn't, people wouldn't care about trying to get you to have an opinion one side or the other. You understand? So here's what we got to start telling the bootlegs. When they come after you, we got to give you what you gave us. What's that? Nothing. Nothing. We owe you nothing. You did nothing for us, so you get nothing from us. I don't have to help them destroy you, but I don't have to help save you either. I told you, indifference is far worse than hatred. You understand me? See, when there's hatred, there's a possibility that you might could make amends for the things that you've done to offend people. When there's indifference, there's no hope of that. There's no hope of that. You on your own. And that's exactly what they deserve, family. So let it continue.
Nothing. So I have no problem with AIPAC getting them. Go ahead. I'm cool. I hope AIPAC get all the CBC if they want to. I applaud them. I support AIPAC doing it. They don't do a freaking thing for black people. That video should not have even been happening. But see, if this was happening to any other community, they'd have been on code and made sure of it. But not this community. That's why I get so sick and tired of a lot of things that go on in this black American community. I get tired of it. And sometimes I understand what Christ talked about. Well, how long I'm going to be with you? He was just tired of it. Tired of the lack of faith. I get why. Tired of the excuses. Tired of the backbiting. Tired of selling out. I understand why. I get tired constantly because I'm sitting up there watching these people sell out the black American community all the time. They talk down on the black American community. You're so dumb. You're so stupid. Cussing you out. You got people that support that, that applaud that. They think that's a good thing, what they do and say about other black people. That's what annoys me. You cannot get ahead when someone's sabotaging you. That's like you having a gallon of water and someone poke a hole in your gallon of water. And your gallon of water is keep on dripping. And you filling it back up, but it's dripping. That is what happens in our community. We can't fill up a gallon because you got these sellouts like Boulay Martin, the CBC, and all them other black folks poke a hole in your gallon. Or black folks trying to do something, they be the first one to tell the folks, hey, they over there doing it. Hey, they over there doing this. Hey, they talking like this. So talk to them like this so they won't be so mad at you.
Now, I'm going to throw something else out here, and I want my chat room, every one of you in here, to give me the fire sign emoji if you think this is a good idea. See, like Brother Phil said here, it does get tiresome. It does get tiresome. It can be demoralizing to sit up there and see these people keep selling us out over and over and over again. But see, you know me, I'm a soldier, okay? Retired soldier, but soldier nonetheless. So I see life as the battlefield that it is. I'm going to posit to you a potential solution. You all tell me if you think this is a good idea by giving me the fire sign in the chat room. The bootlicks that we see, if they have different endeavors out here, like a last king of chicken wings, Boulay Bird Martin, a.k.a. Roland Martin, Port Chopness, Prime Ribs Martin. You know I have many names for the Sultan of sandwiches, okay? I despise him. Here's an idea. Any sponsors that he has, I'll tell you what we could do, family. See, when you neglect my people, I believe in playing hardball with you. Now I got to hit you in your pockets. We can start looking at those sponsors he got, be like, oh, you deal with him? Oh, no, that's a pariah in our community. Now, don't expect no more of our business. See, let me tell you something. It's two universal languages that people understand. Violence, and I'm not advocating for that at all, just stating a fact, and the loss of money. You understand me? People understand the loss of money. You understand? But let me tell you something. Everybody in this chat room, I see them fire signs. Yeah, see, we're about innovative solutions over here. You want to play games with us, Boulay Bird? Yeah, I normally don't do this. But since you want to participate in selling my people down the river and hurting us, I got to do this. I got to put it on the people's mind and see if they think this is a good idea to demand that your sponsors stop supporting you until you start doing for us. Yeah, we going there with it. That's right. And I know you're going to hear this. I know it's going to get back to you. I want it to get back to you. It's not just you. We're going to start doing that with all of you. You see my chat room, man. Look, man, we better get some fire extinguishers in here, man. All these fire signs in my chat, man. See, family, when people play with you like that, it should always be a consequence. Let them play. Be like, okay, cool. You can go and play, but here's this consequence to go along with your plan. Now have that. We're going to put something else on this plate besides a bunch of bonbons and donuts. Yeah, we finna start messing with your sponsors, Playboy. Yeah, you think this is a game? My people not playing with you. So either you gonna stand up and do the right thing for people, or hey, you can just cut back on your little snack fund. Okay, that's one solution I propose to you. So y'all get together and y'all discuss it amongst yourselves, because see, we're about progressive solutions over here. Just let it continue.
Say these words to them so they think you're on your side. See, they the one tell them the words to say to black folks to get you to calm down. They are the ones that teach them how to deceive you. You understand? Because call it what it is. The folks, no matter what side they come from, they don't know how to talk to us like that. They really don't. Where you think they get all that from? What to say, how to say it. The folks get it from them. You understand? That's why in Haiti in 1804, before they went after the French, the first thing they did was went after the sellouts. Why? Why the great wisdom of the Haitians, why they went after the sellouts first? Because if they went after the French first, they would have lost. Because all those sellouts would have told the French, hey, they doing this, and the third, and you better watch yourself. And then they would have been defeated. But they say, no. We got a sellout problem. Let's deal with the sellouts first. Then we'll go after the French. And the sellout problem today is worse than what it ever has been in society. It's worse. And it's our fault. It's our community's fault. We'd rather get mad at somebody about who they dating more so than a sellout. If we would get to have the same passion about who somebody date versus what these sellouts are doing, I can care less for somebody date, as long as they ain't not harming the community with it.
Keywords on that, like he said, people gonna date whoever they want to date, but as long as they're not harming our community, that's not my business. When you're harming our people, though, oh, it's all of our business. So I agree with Phil on that 100%. And see, family, let me put something else on your minds here while I have your attention here tonight. These sellouts, the reason why I equate them to the disgusting, filthy, demonic entity known as a pedo, okay? Y'all know what I mean by the rest of that word. All of you in here who are black parents, I know you love your children. I know you do. Because you wouldn't be on this platform if you didn't care about your families. But those of you that don't have children, you've got nieces, you got nephews, you got little cousins, okay? When the sellouts play the games that they're playing, they're not just hurting those of us here in the present. I want you right now, listen to what I'm about to tell you, to picture your loved ones, your little babies. I want you to picture them in your head as I say this to you. You see that little boy, little girl that you picture in your head? The sellouts are stealing their future. The sellouts are stealing their future. What have I told you about any time that an act of hostility is inflicted upon the children of a society? That is an act of war, okay? That's why I take such an issue with the sellout. You have no right to steal the futures of these little black children, our precious little black children, who could be anything. You cutting their legs off from under them before they get a chance to start. This is why I say we should make them pariahs in our community, and we have the power to do that. Let it continue.
But the sellouts deceiving you, Boule Martin every day is trying to deceive you to go out and vote for Democrats. Every day. And he know good and well the Democrats don't do nothing for black people. But see, they keep him papered up. So it's his job to keep you out there deceived, fear-mongering, all of that. That's his job. He has no morals, because I could not sit there and just say, you know what, I'm going to get on this microphone and try to deceive you so I can get money. I couldn't sleep at night like that, knowing that I'm purposely deceiving you. I'm purposely being used as an agent of the devil, because if you are lying, you're speaking with the voice of Satan.
He's 100% correct again. And see, I further co-sign that sentiment because, see, let me tell you something. On any platform that you follow me on, any information that I put up, I go out my way to make sure it's accurate and it's true. Any words that I speak to you as my people, my brothers and sisters, I try to make sure that I'm speaking to you the truth. If someone told me that I had to use my platform to deceive my people, knowing that we're in critical times and this could be deadly to my people, I can't do it. I agree with Phil. I could not sleep at night. See, when I see some of us, and see, Brother Phil and myself, and those of you who are men and women in this chat room that are the same way with any type of integrity, we have to be able to face ourselves when we get up and look in that mirror. We don't have the ability to carry about like these people. But see, let me tell you something. Like Brother Phil said, not only are they doing the work of the devil, that means that they're the devil's children. Oh yeah, I'm going there with it. Because see, you think about what a evil, wicked, soulless, no integrity having maggot you must be to see what's harming our people. And they tell these people, hey, look, as long as you do this for us, we'll make sure you good. And you just say, oh, okay, what the hell with the rest of them, as long as I'm good. You just take a look at them when they're strolling and prancing about in each of your cities, no matter where you listen to me from. Take a look at them. Not a hair out of place on their head. They living good. Oh, they got nice cars, nice homes. Don't want for nothing. While the average black person don't have it nowhere close to what they got. Further insult to injury, they doing it off your taxpayer dollars. See, we have not really looked at why we should be so offended at these people and cast them out from amongst us as pariahs until they do right by us, because we're paying for them to neglect us and mistreat us. I don't know about you, family, but I'll be damned if I'm going to pay somebody to mistreat me. Let's let it continue.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do that to nobody. Not even my people. I couldn't do that to nobody. All the cussing and talking down to black people, but you're supposed to be so educated. You're supposed to be so educated, but that's the only words you know how to use. At least if you're so educated, pick some words in the English language you don't know to cuss us out. Since you're so educated, right? You know what? I can't stand to hear educated person, so-called educated person cuss. I can't stand it. You were set up there in that school all that time to get a so-called degree, and that's the only words you know? Man, teachers are all something since you're so smart. Talk to us in a way like, wow, man, shoot, let me go research that word he just said or she just said. You know what I'm saying? They nothing but plantation mammies and plantation sambos. That's all they are.
Keep in mind what Brother Phil just said, because we all saw the footage of how Jim Bojangles Clyburn was talking to people that were trying to converse with him about what he's going to do to represent the people in his district, which are mostly black folks. You saw how he responded. He's not the only one. The Boule Martins, okay. You may as well say Kamala, because she ducking and dodging every chance she get. I'm like, you may as well say that's profane on her part, even though it's honest profanity, because she already told us from the beginning what she's not going to do for us, okay? So there's many other politicians. For example, the video, I think it was in Chicago, at that meeting where the brothers and sisters up there were trying to address them, they were on this stage, they got up and walked out while they're talking. Now, family, these are people, again, who your tax dollars pay their salaries. You gonna get up and walk off of me when I'm talking to you? Oh, no. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna put this back out here into the ether. It's time for political punishment. We owe them something, all right. Or we owe them something, but it's not our votes. We owe them malevolent neglect. The same way they handed us benign neglect. Oh, we're going to make sure they know why we're neglecting them. We're going to be straight. Listen, you don't do nothing for us, we can't do nothing for you. What currency do you have to come to the black community that you've done nothing for and ask for our votes? See, this is quid pro quo. You have to have something in exchange to get our votes. You have nothing. Go back and reach into that bag where you had all them goodies for all these other groups, and you better come bringing something back to us in advance. We can't put you in office anymore. You have to come in advance. Let's let it continue.
Oh, if we would, as a community, deal with these sellouts politically, and I'm going to repeat that again, politically. How we deal with the sellouts politically, we vote them all out. We put in a brother or sister that's about the business and vote them all out. Right? If you are in your area, I told all of you that listen to me need to be registered to vote. I told you that. I told you all of you need a driver's license. All of you need that. And all of you need a United States passport. Don't be sitting here listening to me talk and you don't have all three of them when that's what I advocate for anybody listening to me. If you register to vote and you know a Cory Booker or Maxine Waters, anybody else, you can get your behind out there and say, look, I'm voting for somebody else to get them out of there. Listen, it's a time to sit it out. It is. And it is a time to get your behind up and say, I'm going to go out there and get them out. Oh, no, Maxine can't be in here no more. She got to go. She need to retire. She got to go. Clyburn, oh, he need to go. I say all of them in the CBC got to go. I mean all. We need a fresh group of people that's black, not blue.
You know what would be an awesome sight to see, family, in regards to what Brother Phil is saying right there about getting all the CBC out, because I'm with him. They all need to go. They've been there too long. An awesome sight to see would be enough black people around the country, wherever they go, telling them, listen, you got a time limit. You got a time limit to start doing something for us. And whether you name the time limit or not important. But if we don't see results for our people the same way you're doing for other people, don't worry about it. You're going to see more black people than you've ever seen in your life voting to get you out your specific position in office. And we're going to have to start giving them ultimatums that whoever we do send to represent us, hey, you got a time limit too. We need to see some results by XYZ time, whatever we decide as a community. See, the other thing, a problem that I have, particularly with that CBC, besides a lot of them being tellers, I have a problem when I see this anywhere. When you're a part of something and you got a position of power like that, okay, because they're not powerful people, they're just in positions of power, big difference. You shouldn't be trying to stay there until you retire or the good Lord call you home, okay? Our government is basically a retirement home for these people. I got to call it what it is. Why don't you try to train and lift up younger people to take your place? See, you shouldn't be in there by the time you Maxine Waters' age. I'm sorry. Look, especially if you're not doing nothing for us. No, move aside. Let the young blood come up. But see, they want to sit there and try to do what their white counterparts do. That's a problem with all politicians, but we're talking about the CBC. You should move out the way. Listen, right now, with the issues we face in America, and you can't say there's no qualified young brothers and sisters out there. When I say young, I'm talking 34, in their early 40s, whatever. We got people in that age. Hey, you know what? Let me not mistreat our younger people. Let me tell you something. If a 28-year-old, 27, 28-year-old got some fresh new ideas and they're on code there for the people, put that young brother and sister in there. Let's give them a shot. You need to move out the way because you hadn't done nothing for us. Okay? It's time for them to move aside, man. Because, see, when you look at the country, the reason why we're having the issues that we're having, and I'm applying this to all politicians, they're too old. Society has changed. Their mindset is stuck. It's outdated. We need fresh, new ideas. As time goes on, you need to move aside and let the younger people come up in the ranks. You should be training your replacements, but we rarely ever see that. And see, the other thing that I want y'all to remember, think about it when we send these people to Congress, the Senate, what have you. Most of the time, when they're campaigning for our votes, especially in the beginning of their political careers, they're average people. They don't have a whole lot of paper. What happened when they get in there? Even within 1 or 2 years, multimillionaires. Come on now. Yeah, I'm going there with it. I usually don't pocket watch, but when it comes to our people in this situation, yeah, our taxpayer dollars, I got to pocket watch you then because you're not doing what you're supposed to do with them. Okay? If you're not representing the people, then you don't need to be in a position claiming to represent us. That's the type of energy we need to be on, family. Let's let it continue.
That's what we need. I'm telling you, if y'all don't fix this issue as a community, and you don't need no permission from nobody, Boule Martin, he's not hard to deal with. He's really not. How you deal with Boule Martin? You just press him. You just press him. You challenge him. He goes to events. You just challenge him. No different, y'all.
You challenge him and you steal his lunchbox. That's how you deal with Boule Martin too, brother Phil. You challenge him like, hey, Roland, check this out, player. I know where you hid your lunchbox. What? Don't you play lunchbox? Go down in here. Can you imagine? Boy, can you imagine you find his snack stash? Boy, you find where he keep his little special stash of Little Debbie's and pies and cakes and cookies, man. Hey, boy, y'all better be ready if you try that. I'm just saying, man. Let's let it continue.
Y'all doing Clyburn. When Clyburn was showing up in events, y'all was challenging Clyburn. Y'all pressing him. Boule Martin can't deal with being pressed. He really can't. He can't stand it. So he's really not that big of a deal to deal with. My issue is he's...
Wait, Phil, he is a big deal. He's a huge deal. Roland is a giant mutated bun. That boy, listen, y'all know I had to get these jokes in. I got to do it. He deserves it. Listen, Phil, he is a big deal. He really is, brother. I respect you. Much respect to you, but Roland is a big deal. He is a big mutated chicken McNugget with no neck. I have to ask that question again. Nobody's been able to tell me the answer to this because I really want to know at this point. I am not playing. How is he existing with no neck? He has none. I challenge you. Find a picture of him with a neck showing. Roland, the last king of chicken wings, Martin. That boy don't have no neck. That was created in a lab somewhere. I'm telling you, man. Cholesterol king, Mucinex, man. Look, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone, y'all. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let it continue. I had to get that off though.
Deceiving people, and that's really my biggest issue. So we have to, in on this side, be a counter voice, and to just go ask questions about why aren't you talking about immigration, sir? Why aren't you talking about how the immigration is harming Black America? He never addresses that, but they say he got immigrant background, so I understand that. But don't y'all let him deceive y'all, because his checks come through this deception of you. What happened to that brother should not have happened. Should have had the anti-Black hate crime bill. And that's just got me just so fired up when I saw that video. And we know our brothers and sisters in Chicago got a great energy going. And that energy for our brothers and sisters in Chicago need to be spreading nationwide to all Black America. If you care about your future, what about our children's future? You know, I was talking to an elder today. Great conversation with one of the elders, great sister. And she kept saying that, what about our children? What about our grandchildren? Like, are we going to leave them messed off? Is that what we going to do? Willingly do it? Because sure, you know, I think like this. I'm not a person that think like, oh, well, as long as my children good, I'm whatever. I think about, well, what about people's children that listening to me right now? What about their children? What about their grandchildren? My children will live in a world with them. You know what I'm saying? I want my people to be good. Sure, I can just do things to make sure I'm good and my family's good. But no, I just think that we all need to be good. I want us all good. You know, our future hang in the balance. The Democrats are weaponized against Black America. And I saw a number today that says that in 2024, they have 34.2 million eligible Hispanic voters. I said, oh, that's why Democrats are doing what they're doing, because they want to use the Hispanic vote to replace the Black vote. When we talked about it, but once I seen the number, I said, okay, because there's actually more Hispanic people in this country now than even Black folk, way more.
And think about this, right? Because see, this is exactly why Jim Crow Joe said what he said in that leaked recording where he was talking to them Sam Bozos and Sam Betts up there, talking to them like a slave master. Y'all gonna have to get more used to working with Hispanics. They make up a larger percentage of population than y'all do. Listen, man, Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When it comes to that particular issue right there, this is yet another reason why you should be highly offended at these bootlicks and sellouts that sit here and go along with this playbook to further harm our community that way by not doing anything specifically for our people and putting all these other groups ahead of us. Because like Brother Field and myself have said, they're taking away from our children's futures, okay? They don't have any right to do that. That should, look, you should take that just as serious as somebody putting a hand on your child. You understand me? I know most people in here that love your children. Hey, listen, y'all know how that is, okay? So you should be just as offended by them trying to touch your child's future like that with this selling out that they're doing, okay? So when it comes to that, just remember that meeting, because like I said, I covered that here on our channel. You can find that anywhere, okay, if you need to go back and review that. And see, that's another thing that we have to do from time to time. Recent history, go back and refresh your memory about it. Go back and refresh your memory so to make sure that you understand what's important, and not just for that. Make sure that you, if you need to, and you're trying to compile a list of things to address these different people about when you go and see them at city council meetings or wherever they're at. Now you have a frame of reference in recent history where you can say, see, this right here, this is unacceptable. This can't happen again, okay? So always keep that in mind when you're dealing with these particular issues. And I don't want to hear anybody saying that you don't have what it takes or you don't know this, you don't know that. Let me tell you something, man. Even those that we revere as our grandmaster teachers had to take a first step. You understand? So everybody might not be the most eloquent speaker. Everybody might not have specific knowledge from other people. But see, this is why you're a part of a community where whatever you lacking as a brother or sister, you can go to another brother or sister in these spaces and get that knowledge or information or the confidence or the skill set to do something. See, that's the good thing about being on code. When you're on code, everybody works together to get things done, okay? So that's the encouragement that I have for you. We're going to let Brother Field continue here.
But not all of them are eligible to vote. You understand what I'm saying? So they want that group to be used to get rid of the black vote.
And here's the joke about that on the demonic Democrats, the donkeycrats as I call them. Most of them Hispanic voters, once they get good, they turn around and vote Republican, the greater majority of them. Oh, yeah. Man, I don't lie. Just want to put that fact out there.
We didn't need a vote to get civil rights. We didn't need a vote to get off the plantation. Everything that we ever done as a people, we never voted for it. So I don't care what voters you bring in this country. We are the originators of civil rights. We are the originators of the fight. We are the only group that has proven the test of time of everything that's been thrown at us. And we are still here fighting. But even though you're fighting, we gotta get rid of people who is politically selling us out. We got to get rid of these mindsets like these people coming around here talking about they're your leaders. No. If you don't come from the soil and nobody know you, don't know where you come from, no, you can't be nothing. That video that brother right there should not have happened. And part of it, yes, it's the Democrats. But some of it's our fault because we haven't dealt with our sellouts. We can't just talk about Biden. We got to talk about the CBC, your local leaders in your city. What have they been doing for black people? What have they been doing?
Let me further expound on what our brother is saying here, because see, he's right. Think about it right like this, okay? Let's put it in simple terms, even for our younger audience over here, because I know a lot of younger people listening to this channel. Okay, I see my demographics and my analytics. I want to give a simple analogy that even the younger people that might not be as politically astute will even understand. Let's relegate it to the example of if you're playing on a sports team of any particular kind, let's say a basketball team. If somebody on your team is steady getting the ball and passing it to the other team, how you ever going to win the game like that? If somebody on your team, every time you go to make a shot, instead of trying to block the other opponents, they block you. This is what we're dealing with, okay? So I want to give that simple analogy and see, here's the thing, family. When it comes to that type of sabotage, you ask yourself, what do we owe these people? What do we owe these people other than to make sure that you no longer have the ability to do that? See, let me give you something else to encourage you and help you out with what I'm speaking on right here. One of the first things that you need to do when you're trying to make any kind of change in your life, you need to envision what it would be like if that obstacle was not there. You understand me? Listen, I want you to listen to what I'm telling you. Your power starts in the mind. The things that you can conceive, you definitely can achieve, okay? Start envisioning what it would be like to make progress without these sellouts in the way. Because see, like Brother Phil and myself are saying, we have the power to do something about that. We don't have to sit there and let them be in these positions that a lot of us put them in and continue to slit our throats to what they're doing politically. Start envisioning to yourself, what would this be like to make progress without these sellouts? Is that going to solve everything overnight? No. But it'll be better than having them in there and adding insult to injury of people that look like us that are not on code with us, politically cutting our throats, okay? So I want y'all to start doing that if you're not doing it already. Let's let it continue.
Because from what I see, even in Houston, the same Democrats that you got in Washington, it's the same Democrat mindset even in Houston. The same mindset. But it's going to be on us to fix that. If we don't fix it, then it's going to get to a point you're going to say, okay, well, shoot, the community on its own, you got to think about yourself and your family. I told y'all. Because you can't let people refusing to deal with our issues and problems take down you personally and your family personally. But there's more and more people every day waking up to the truth. Waking up. And I'm telling you, we got to deal with the Congressional Black Caucus. We got to deal with all these shills like Boulay Martin. We got to deal with these people because they've been selling us out for way too long. Way too long. The black preacher sold us out way long time ago. And how you deal with the black preacher, the shills, you delegitimize them. Once they delegitimize, they're no good for even white supremacy on the left. It's very easy to delegitimize those kind of people. You shout them down. You don't pay attention to them. You turn them into clowns.
I'm going to add a further suggestion, family. When it comes to, because we've been discussing how to deal with the bootlegs on the political side of the game, but he brought up something very important here. Oh, yes, these book dancing, pork chop pastors and preachers, these black churches, the ones that it applies to that don't do nothing for us. Y'all going, boy, a lot of people going to be like, you shouldn't even went there with this, but I'm about to. I got a solution for them as well. It's similar to what I told you about Boulay Martin. See, I'm of the mindset of if you're going to be a black church, you're supposed to give people spiritual food that heal the people. And you're supposed to be a benefit to the community. The black church is not supposed to be a money pit that people just come and dump money in so pastor can live good. Oh, no. That's not what it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to propose to many of you, and you can take it under advisement amongst yourselves and see if you agree with this idea. It's time to start demanding these black churches be audited. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right. I'm playing hardball. I believe in playing dirty when you dirty with our people. When you sit here and collude with the Democrats, like them black pastors up there in Chicago that want to sit there and go along with folks talking about keeping that a sanctuary city, something that needs to be illegal in all 50 states. Oh, yeah, it's time to get the IRS to audit your books and find out what you got going on, Mr. Pork Chop Pastor. Yeah, I'm going there with it. Yeah, you've been hurting our community. We need to hurt you too. Yeah, that's right. See, I'm always of the mindset of whatever is cancerous amongst our people, that needs to be removed. It's time for us to perform some surgery. We deserve that, family. You understand? We deserved as a people in this country that our ancestors built and many of us continue to build. We deserve to thrive in this country without sabotage. That's just an idea I want to throw out there with y'all. Hey, start. Hey, go ahead and get IRS, start running through them books, man. I know it's a dirty thing, but they've been dirty towards us. Got to give them what they've been giving us. Just an idea. Let's let it continue.
Looked at as clowns. Everybody laughing at what they say. Don't respect nothing they say. Nobody that got sense or prominence would even engage with them because they're clowns. Then it takes them. We can delegitimize anybody we want to in this community. You know we can do it. We've done it before. That's how you deal with the preachers and the shields. You just delegitimize them. But are you willing to take your community back? Because you got to take your community back first. We can talk about the Democrats and what they're not doing. But until we take our whole community back, like dealing with the sellouts, voting them out, delegitimizing them, until we take our community back, we can't really deal with the Democrats for real like that. Because you always have a sellout willing to undermine us. Now, some people say, oh, well, what about the black immigrants? No. They're not an issue. Our biggest issue is actually within our own group. Sure, do you have a few black immigrants in that bunch? Yeah. But the majority is in our own group. Those that are selling us out. And you have to let them know you're going into 2024, it's going to be a new day. We're pointing you out, we're calling you out, and we're going to vote you out and just delegitimize you. That's it. Y'all know who's running for who. And y'all who's smart enough, who got the message, step up out there and say, hey, I'm running. And get the people behind you locally. If you know an election is coming up, and definitely 2 years before the election, you need to be out there campaigning hard.
And see, I'm going to say this. I've said it many times. Any politician coming to us talking about getting our votes, I'm going to say it with no shame to it. The standard has been set for a grassroots black politician in our good brother, Greg Marcel Dixon. Yes, I'm saying it. Brother Greg, I got to give you your props. That is a brother that is for our people. You understand? If I don't see you up to that same standard, putting in the work on the ground like he's putting in, I don't see that you have some type of track record for trying to do for the community, and that brother by trade is an educator of our children, and he does other work in his community. If I don't see you doing that, nah, man, no, you're not worthy of getting our vote. You can't come to us like you've been coming to us, Democrat Party. It's not going to work anymore. So that's just one template for the standard. And like Brother Phil is saying, if it's up to you, especially, I want to see more younger people. This is why I support our good sister Tesla Figaro, her Push the Line program, where she gives you political training to be able to run for office. I want to see more younger people step up to the plate, because that's really what we need going into the future. We need our young, best and brightest that are inclined to do so, that want to represent us. We need to make sure they get the skills that they need to do that, okay? So that's what I'm all for. He's right on that. Because like I said, everybody's job is different. Some of us are fit for the political role. So when we see those people that they've proven that they've been on cool, those are the people that should get our votes. Like I said, if you're running on the same standard as a Greg Marcel Dixon, those are the ones that deserve our support.
And get with the young people. Because that's your best bet. But let's see what's going to happen with this particular case. But I'm just sick of the selling out, man. I'm sick of it. I don't see how you sit up there and listen to somebody trying to deceive you all the time. Like, I guess, when you know somebody's trying to deceive you, when you hear the BS, it's like, I can't stomach it, right? But unfortunately, you got some people who can't see it. Some people feel people like Boulay Martin is a decent brother. Believe it or not, to me, he's not decent. He's not. Because as I said earlier, he's deceiving my people for a check. And that's not cool. Just like some of these filthy rappers putting out all that filth on the airwaves and getting a check out of it. I don't support them either. There's a whole lot of things that you could be talking about. You ain't got to talk down on black people, harming black people, talking down on black women. You ain't got to do all that to make a record. It's time we got to clean our community up. It's just that simple. If we don't clean it up, don't sit up here and complain about these other groups and pass you. Because trust me, they're going to pass you quickly if we don't deal with our issues and problems.
And there you have it, family. Okay. I brought this broadcast to you tonight over here to put some things in perspective. Because, see, one of the things about getting your house in order, you must assess the situation before you make a move to get things in order. And I've given you a pretty good bit of ammunition and information here tonight that will aid those of you that intend to do your part to help get our house in order, because we all have a part to play in that. Okay. So I hope that you absorb this information here tonight. And I want you to be safe during this holiday season. I can't stress this enough. The lunatic drunk drivers are out there. Hey, be careful out here on these highways and byways, family, and do not be disheartened. I know a lot of what I showed you tonight here, it probably put some of you in a dampened spirit, but these are the things that we must face and we must deal with going forward. And those that are come seeking our vote, they have to be held accountable and be made to be understanding that you're going to do something for us, just like you did for other people. We cannot afford to let them get any more free rides. So with that said, salute to you, Black First. And for those that are asking, yes, I will be addressing the situation on what happened to the home of Dr. Martin Luther King. I will definitely be addressing that tomorrow. And I'm going to be providing some insight on that a lot of people may not speak on, but I have no problem speaking on it. Okay. So be safe out there, family. Salute to you, Black First. And I will see you all in future content.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, Black, American culture, like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
You look at all the boroughs, you got, Money Making Manhattan and Money Earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix. They want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
That narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip-hop. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip-hop.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-Boy stand started from the guards, the 5 percenters that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
When we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation
that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree, and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.